Ba. 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 I wonder if the problem for YouTube is now fixed. Hello, Demon Zeri. Alright, let's... Alright. So yes, enjoy your time getting past the filters because you, Maxwell, and Pivot are still approved users. Fun fact, that means you guys can also post links, if I remember correctly. Oh, my thing is not refreshing as fast as I'd like it to. It's time for Volume 5, the one with... Rikku challenging his viewers. I'm just gonna double check. Yep, there's no messages. Okay. Just had to double check my schedule for today and also make sure no one said, hey, we need someone to come in early, because that was going to be me. I think it will be Espanol free, or as much as I can try. Just be like every Hollywood movie, where just to make sure you guys remember I'm Hispanic, I throw in some Spanish every now and then. You know, Rikku could be lying. There's nothing to say he's Hispanic. What is that one thing he clings on to? Pupusas? I don't even think he knows what it is. I've never made it. My brother makes it, my mom makes it, but I've never made it. That proves it. He doesn't know. But enough of that. All right. So I wonder for this, what does it mean? I'm assuming it's like the other one before, where it's like, yeah, you do this and then this. Like these both happen at the same time. But they are on different planets. So I'd think Karkat would tell you about Kanaya, and then Kanaya would tell you about fucking cannons. How do they work? That's Vrishka. I don't remember who this one is. All right. People like us. Also, hello, Maxwell. Hope you're having a good day. And you as well, Demon Zeri. Confident that your new friends are safely sleeping off a rowdy night of full of snacks, video games, and taxidermy, you turn your thoughts to dreams. Jade's dreams. That fascinating, shining place that feels familiar the way a dream does. Prosper feels like the place you should be right now. You get a brand new zap sense, and it hasn't failed you so far. It allowed you to befriend several emotional, volatile teens in precarious home situations. These powers won't let you down. So you zap to the dream world. Turns out you can fly here. Rad! You drift around for a little bit, admiring the glittering towers, waving lazily to all the various dream NPCs, till you come upon a dome with an open window. Inside, a troll boy with nubby horns and a silly outfit lies curled up in his dream bed, sleeping soundly. Aw, he looks so peaceful. You imagine this is a very peaceful troll boy. Yes, but no, but yes. Perhaps it should strike you as strange that you immediately know what this alien's race is, but nah, you don't have time for that. Abruptly, the boy vanishes. Oh shit. He angry? You follow him without hesitation. Zap! Luckily, your powers seem orientated to specific people rather than places. You figure it's because this is a character-driven narrative. You find yourself in a dim respite block. There's a bookshelf and a desk and clothes hung on pegs on the walls. But instead of a bed, there's a small tub of green goo. What the fuck? I can't do gravelly. I've fucked up my throats for too many years doing voices like that. Can't do it. A gravelly voice tinged with mania crashes over you in a furious wave. You reel back from the onslaught. Every evening, I wake up to another glorious night of the universe applying its globes directly to my face in the most hilarious and juvenile way possible. I'm used to this, okay? I'm not saying this is anything new, but this is just next fucking level. Just do an impression the whole way. I can't even... Time for the stream where Rikku screams every word. Oh my god. Imagine going... My next few days at work would actually be hell.
Hi. Thank you for calling the pizza place. How can I help you?
Your eyes finally adjust enough to see the same troll boy from the dream world. He appears to have fallen asleep at his husk top. Some crumbs are stuck to his face where it seems to have been pressed to the desk. He's got a zodiac symbol on his shirt. Whichever one is a sideways 69. Nice. And man, he is angry. Like, way angrier than a normal person. I stay in this crumbling excuse of a hive, rig this place with early warning systems, and what's my reward? A deformed blue blood teleporting in my respite block like a fucking... You zap out of there because, damn, you don't know what kind of early warning system he has? Whatever predators it's meant to keep away, all he'd have to do is shout at them. You appear in a nearby hill about 100 yards away from the hive. From the outside, it looks large and leaning with square windows and an unnecessary number of balconies. Although, who are you to say what's necessary? You know, this dude really likes balconies. He could probably use some fresh air. A couple similarly large and lopsided hives scatter the skyline. Hives. He did actually have the jacket for the end for Jade's section. Because when he's blown out into space, you see him with the jacket on. And I think the ending's CG for Jade for the true ending. Didn't he have his jacket for that end CG? Could have swore it was the same hoodie. Only in the bad ending. Okay. Huh. Made of the organic insectile architecture, like they were grown instead of built. You clearly aren't on Earth anymore. The sky is black and the bushes are purple. There are 2 moons. Neither of them is your gold moon, though. I think maybe you should be freaked out by this strange alien land, but nah. You're a seasoned friend venture by now. Besides, you like it here. It's comfortable. This is a pretty good hill. You sit for a while. Think about this hill and this universe and your place in it. Is it? Your place is it? Your place in it? Until the sun starts to crest over the distant horizon. Hey, idiot! The troll boy is leaning out of his front door. You're sitting on the ground waiting for sunrise, so you're either a jade blood or a moron. And I know the only jade blood who lives outside the caverns, and she's a lot better looking than you. So what the hell? Who are you? You're not a troll. There's a substantial gap of grassy hill between the two of you, but you can hear him just fine. He's a talent for projection. You stand up and brush the dirt off your ass. He seems a bit less angry now. Also, that is interesting that you never got your jacket back from Dave after that whole thing. You just left it in his bathroom, in the bathtub. Well, I'm glad you got it back now. This will help. Well, I can actually... I mean, Karkat's already figured out he's not a troll, so I don't know how much is going to help him here. Zap right over. No point in wasting daylight or moonlight, whatever. So you just, yeah, I would have died to the sunlight. Got it. Holy fuck. A flash of gray and the gleam of metal, bright, shocking pain opens up in the middle of you. The boy stares, eyes round, yellow and shocked. Your laugh comes out wet. Why are you laughing? You know what else to do. You press a hand to the wound in your stomach, trying to hold the blood in with sheer will. You tell him you're just trying to save a little time. What? The boy stares down at the weapon in his hand, a viciously hooked blade that he had pulled seemingly out of nowhere. A scythe? No, a sickle. Is this kid a communist? Did communists actually use sickles? Or were they just sickle themed? There's so many communist facts that you don't know. The boy continues to stare at his sickle. Then he stares at your fingers. He looks back and forth. His sickle, your fingers. His sickle, your fingers. Or more accurately, the blood on his sickles and your fingers. He's gaping at the chrism slashes like he's never seen blood before. His mouth moves, but no sound comes out. He hunches over himself like he's the one who has been gutted. You aren't sure what he does after that because suddenly you're on your back and all you can see is the sky. He's going to put me in the respite. I thought he got slashed in the stomach. And also I thought he was going to put us in their Koopa-Coon. Traumatized, yep, because he's the only other one with, like, blood as red as his that he knows of. Yep, same color blood. Because that was the thing that he bonded over with Jack, if I remember right. Because he kept shouting, he's like, don't look at my blood. And he's like, what are you talking about blood for? Okay, cuts his finger. Look, same. Okay, stop yelling. Stop yelling. See? They dapped each other out. You walk leisurely down the hill. The heat from the rising sun washes over your back, and you speed up. The sun is bad news. You just know it. You start down the hill. Light bleeds further across the horizon, and your pace gets a little less leisurely. The troll boy crosses his arm. His shoulders are round and a slouch. Like he spends a lot of time making himself smaller. His black painted claws are bitten down. You wave a little awkward hello. He rolls his eyes and grabs you by the arm. Grip surprisingly strong, tugs you underneath the shadow underhang of a balcony. Okay, asshole, what were you doing watching me in my dream like some hornless cast-posing pervert? I can't even retreat into unconsciousness anymore. Is that it? I won't even slide into the nascent relief of death without an alien stalking me? Did one of my friends put you up to this? Was it Solix? Everyone's favorite pastime. Make Karkat's life even more of a constant, effervescent shit show. I do like how Karkat is drawn. I do like this. I do like his style for this. You tell him, Karkat, that it's not like that. You don't know anyone named Solix, and you don't mean to be creepy. You just found him, liked how he looked. You liked how he looked and decided to follow him home. Karkat's thick eyebrows creep upward. Okay, you know how that sounds, but you really didn't do it to be weird. You did it for friendship. You crave it, like a mineral. Wow, very normal, Mr. Magic. Okay, but you are magic. Okay, maybe not you specifically, you don't want to brag, but you can do some pretty magic stuff. Karkat looks incredibly dubious, even more so than Rose had, who you might have described as politely incredulous. That fucking face. You considered explaining to him all that what you remember when Pivot had emo Pivot? This is emo Pivot. This is how emo Pivot would have acted. This is how emo Pivot said words. Do you remember that? It is literally just emo Pivot. Like, if I remember right, when he typed as emo Pivot, this is pretty much how you talk. Pivot's not going to be happy when he reads Homestuck, guys. Every time we say anything, we're drawing him further away. Pivot was role-playing Karkat and he didn't even know what Karkat was. Fucking masterful maneuver from my guy. Just 32 or more Wednesdays until he finally reads Homestuck. You consider explaining to him all that wild stuff that Jay told you about, games and Destiny and such things, but you really can't imagine what any of that has to do with this grumpy alien boy. What are the chances? Tell him that you can prove it. You can bring him to visit one of his friends. You were so awesome at bringing friends together. You could visit Solix, was it? Karkat makes a noise like a tea kettle being punched. Hell no. That Nook biter would self-immolate if I interrupted his coding. You wonder if that's a euphemism? Maybe Karkat just likes scare quotes. I don't have the energy to grub set his freaky deformed bulges today. Okay, then where does he want to go? Does he have any more friends? I wouldn't call him a friend exactly. More like an endless burden I've been cursed with by the slithering eldritch gods of the Elder Reaches. If I didn't occasionally check up on him, he'd space out so far he'd hit hard vacuum. How do we do this? You're actually not quite sure, but you don't want to backpedal and suggest to this cool, angry troll boy that you don't know what you're doing. Do I just... His hand kind of hovers near you. Hold on? You could hold hands, but you don't want to be too forward. You could just hold him under the armpits. You think holding me under the armpits is less weird than holding front stubs. Yes, sort of. Karkat puts an awkward hand on your elbow. Then he frowns. He pushes up your sleeve, layering 3 fingers against your bare arm. You good, dude? Oh yeah, sorry, you're just kind of warm. Thank you. You tell Karkat that he is very warm too. Let's just get this over with. Try to aim for just outside his hive. His Lucius isn't around, and he's usually too stoned to even notice if the roof came down. I don't want to startle him. Cool. Here goes. You zap somewhere pitch black and immediately blunder right into Karkat. Oh my god. Could you keep it together for a single fucking glance nugget? You aren't in Karkat's hive anymore. You appear to be in the void. Cool. The what? Let go of me. You tell Karkat this is actually the one still holding on to you. You tell Karkat that he is actually the one still holding on to you. He makes an angry noise through his nostrils and releases you from his clammy grasp. Oh, he's sweating. He moves away from you and collides with what sounds like about 6 to 17 mobs, all banging into each other and clattering all to the ground. Oh, you're in his... What the... Did he? This is a meta joke since each chapter was released every month or week and games' backgrounds weren't done yet. Okay. God fucking... Something smashes. Slurry guzzling. A shower of little noises like marbles over hardwood. What even is that? Yep. A light finally pops on above you. You appear to be in an alien broom closet with, like, alien cleaning supplies, I guess. One of the bottles just has Clen written on it in permanent marker. You ask Karkat if he meant to transport the two of you into a closet. A bucket rattles as he kicks it. He yelps and jumps backwards onto your foot. What the fuck, Makara? You bottom-feeding asshole. Your personal habits are almost as disgusting as your pan-rotting purple words. What is your paling equipment mixed in of your scrub holes? Did you figure no one would notice? Surprise, Nook sucker! I noticed! What in the hell? Karkat breaks off, and after a moment you realize why. Heavy footsteps shuffle closer. Someone has heard the absolute rumpus tantrum that Karkat's kicking up. Oh, hey, hold up, my brother. I'm hearing something in the scrub cubby. Some squeak beast what's all got itself trapped. The door creaks open. Karkat grabs your arm again. Oh, fuck. A shadow looms on the wall. Wild hair and tall horns. Oh, fuck me. Karkat squeezes your arm so hard it hurts. Oh, fuck, oh, fuck, oh, fuck, oh, fuck. The door opens a little wider and you feel wetness on your arm while Karkat's claws have drawn blood. The door creaks and you panic. You both crash down to the floor together in Karkat's respite block. Karkat's little horns jab you in the side. Ow. What the fuck was that for? Why did you do that? Because Karkat was freaking the fuck out, and you were worried the two of you were in danger, and there was some menacing asshole saying creepy stuff outside the closet door. That is a complete mischaracterization of the scenario, and I'm totally disgusted you'd even bring it up. If I speak, I'm gonna get yelled at. But he's not here. It's not a mischaracterization. He was totally losing it. Look, he was clinging onto you so hard he even drew blood. You showed him your clawed up arm. Karkat's reaction is immediate and overblown, which you are beginning to gather isn't out of character for him. He starts vigorously examining himself. He appears to be checking for injuries. No, you insist. He's not the one bleeding. You are. He's so covered up in jeans and sweaters that you would have no idea how to even get cut in the first place. What? Wait. This is your blood? Yeah, what's the big deal? Besides the fact that he totally just scratched the shit out of you, you're willing to let it slide, though, for friendship reasons. You figure this might just be the way he greets people? It's honestly kind of fucked up. Maybe you should just leave. Wait, what? Now you're just going to zap the fuck out of here like nothing happened? Karkat and Gamzee has always had an interesting friendship because was it ever brought up how they were friends? It was mostly just Karkat wondering how it happened, but never said what did. No, all I can remember is him just saying, like, he's kind of like the one who takes care of him or whatever. And then the only from that beginning part is the only other thing I can remember is Solix and him just slaying shit so hard at each other. But then we're like, nah, man, like, we've done this song and dance so many times. Like, no, I'm not actually pissed at you. But if Gamzee, no. It always seemed the friendship was built on one side fear and one-sided friendship. I could see that, yeah, Maxwell, where because of who he knew, he got to learn Gamzee, and then because he was the one who could handle Gamzee, that's his burden. That's like, oh, we just kind of keep a little proximity with Gamzee, but if you're able to handle him, then you talk to him then. You can't go out there, it isn't safe. Not for people like... Karkat pulls himself warily to his feet. He's still looking at you like you're a bomb that might go off if he steps wrong. Slowly, he extends his own palm and drags a claw across it. Crimson blood beads up and drips to the floor. It isn't safe for people like us. I don't know what voice I'm trying to give him, guys. I think it keeps changing every other sentence. Clearly something is happening here, and it's probably a really deep and affecting moment, but you're still just not sure what you're supposed to do. You bleed, he bleeds, both of you bleed. Sweet, blood friends. You can fuck with that. How did you get a cerulean's hood? Did you bag yourself a high blood morile? I knew how to pronounce that once. Now that you've established that the two of you do indeed both have blood, Karkat appears to have warmed up to you a lot. He even offers you something called grub juice, which you're pretty sure is just Coke. Except not as sweet, it's almost a little salty. You take tiny, polite sips and then pour the rest of it into a dead plant as soon as Karkat turns his back. This was me when someone offered me, like, really, quote-unquote, nice sparkling water. All I could taste was the salt in that water. Like, it's so good, you can really taste the flavor. Also, why the fuck do you want to drink salted water? Why? I'm looking that up right now. Sparkling water offers a zero-calorie, sugar-free alternative to soda, providing the same frizzy, refreshing sensation of artificial ingredients or sweeteners. It acts as a hydrating tool that can increase feelings of fullness, aid digestion, reduce constipation, and help transition away from unhealthy sugary drinks. Sodium plus taste? I just hated it. Just give me water at that point, you know? Like, you know what else helps with all those things sparkling water just listed? Water. Want to feel a little fuller and not drink so much when you eat? Literally just drink water before the meal. Like a full glass of it. Want to help that constipation? Drink some water. And then if that doesn't help, maybe consult a doctor or something. Aid digestion. You know what else can help aid digestion? Chewing your food a lot more than just doing like a few bites and swallowing. Like chewing it like a bunch, like 20 to 30 times each time you bite. And guess what? Drink some water throughout your day. Want to not have kidney stones? Dump the sparkling water that has salts and just do water. I'm not saying if a girl I meet like sparkling water is a deal breaker. I'm just saying it's going to be a while before I get over trust issues. I've never understood people who drink sparkling water. I don't either. Like, what is it? Gatorade and Powerade also have like a lot of sodium in them. But I think it was like back when it was first introduced from like whatever origin story it was. If you're having stomach problems, just drink ginger ale. That ginger ale, Sprite, there's a few other things. The problem with Sprite is that it has so much sugar. But there's a lot of things you can do to help with that. Teas are another good one I've heard. And that one you can more, as a sparkler enjoy, I don't know, tastes neat mouthfeel, makes me feel more full after drinking. I just feels like just water though. I don't know. Then again, we have to go back to my origin story of I'm not the biggest fan of salt because my mom would oversalt everything. She wouldn't actually like flavor things really. It would just be add a bunch of salt to have flavor. So that could probably be my aversion to it. Is just mom always overcooked things and oversalted things in her cooking. I'm gonna say no. Ooh. Ooh. I never had this, but this looks interesting. A fermented, slightly sweet and tangy beverage. Beverage. Made by fermenting sweetened tea with a SCOBY, a rubbery pancake-like culture bacteria and yeast. Oh, okay. I'm assuming that also slightly tangy is an understatement. I'm assuming this is another thing like ginger ale or ginger beer that can help with stomach issues. Fruit, spices, and juices or juices are often added after fermenting. Who should avoid it? Pregnant or breastfeeding? Well, yeah, because you're using culture bacteria. But that's also the same thing of like sushi and or like undercooked meats, where it's like, yeah, If you have a weak immune system or pregnant, you should be cautious. I do. They should still have the disclaimer. I appreciate the disclaimer, but that's how I usually view that as. It's very effervescent, however, it's written due to the fermentation, same as sparkling water. Let's see. Ah, okay. It is effervescent, however, it's written due to the fermentation, same as sparkling water. Okay. Yes, no, I don't like sparkling water. I've had it. Like I like fries. Like I like how salty they are. But that's also like it's meant to be kind of addicting. No, it's fast food. And then whatever else they put in it that we don't know. It's whatever. Like I still like salty things, but I don't know, with just water and salt, it's just like, I can't do it. Like, if I'm not getting a flavor besides the salt, I should say. I guess that's probably better. Which is weird because the one girl, the drink she gave me, it was supposed to have a flavor, but all I could taste was the salt. But it's also the same thing when someone gives you, like, a beer or a wine, and they say you can taste the blueberry in it. If you're not someone who drinks it often enough, you're not going to get it. So when he gave me that beer, I think it was a beer, all I tasted was wheat. But my buddy, who has been consistently drinking ever since he was able to, might be I wouldn't be surprised, actually. Then again, it also depends on the brand she got. I could not tell you the name of it. I do not remember. But I could see it being a country difference. Again, like, the source. What was I saying? I can't. Cute IGs in the States? Let's see. It might be in the States. So, okay. So it looks like we can get it from Amazon, but from local supermarkets, maybe not. Yeah, that's definitely not the brand I had. I can tell you that much. Isn't it fun during these Homestuck streams? We always get into these tangents. The brand was named after a German visitor who described the springs as Gutin, meaning valid, good, or excellent. Known for its natural carbonation, it originates from subterranean passages near the Cotopaxi volcano, resulting in a mineral-rich composition of a unique, slightly sweet flavor. Interesting. What's a Homestuck stream about real-life references? Where we just literally go on to tangents about different things. Maybe the Pesterquest was in the friends we made along the way. You tell them that you aren't actually sure where you got this sweatshirt. You just were wearing it when you woke up. You don't even remember where that was. You just know you were standing in front of John's house and you were wearing this hoodie, and you knew it was important, but not why it's important. Possibly because it keeps you from being naked? You didn't realize it belonged to a cerulean, whatever that is. Karkat is looking at you like you aren't making much sense, which is fair, because you really aren't making much sense. So you're a mutant blood alien with amnesia that can also teleport. Yep. Oh, and you can time travel too. Don't push it. After everything else he's seen you do, oh no, that's a step too far. Oh, you can time travel too. Don't push it. And he just brushes it off so casually, like, okay, whatever. Okay, pal, shut up. And just goes to the computer. Oh, that's so good. One thing at a time. Yep, exactly. Karkat sits at his desk and hits the spacebar on his keyboard. We should probably figure out whose cast sign that is. Well, not us specifically, unless you got some incredibly unlucky and well-honed husk top skills. You've got no husk top skills, honed or otherwise. Yeah, I'm not fucking surprised. Here, just give me a second. Don't break any of my shit. You take a glance around the room, keeping your arms behind your back so as to make absolutely sure you don't break any of his shit. His room is surprisingly tidy for someone as scattered as Karkat. Mostly just weapons and movie posters. It all has the same air of someone who doesn't plan to live in a place for very long. It feels temporary. Karkat is typing furiously with his mouth pulled into a little frown. That's his default, it appears. Every so often, though, he'll throw glances at the cuts on your arm. He really is hung up on your blood. Good news, Captor. Tonight is your lucky night. Finally, you get a chance to put your money where your dribbling, snaggle-toothed flap is. I need you to do something for me. Oh, is this Nepeta? No. No, this is Sullux, isn't it? KK, if this is more whining about the team leader, I don't want to hear about it. You just don't have the qualifications necessary for this sort of scenario. And if you're just here to start some sort of slap fight for regulars, then you should probably go fuck yourself, because I've got actual work I need to do tonight. Ha 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 ha. Oh my god, who gives a fuck about game Ardia dug out of a hole in the ground and what actually worked? Like I even believe that for a second. You mean the actual work of touching yourself while sobbing into your recupercoon? Yes, hilarious. But can we skip the foreplay for just one time in our lives? All that going to happen is you saying something you regret and then cry typing over whether or not we're still friends. Okay, first of all, fuck you. I don't have time for any of this like Burns dunking me into a carton of weak sauce. There's actual reason, serious shit going down. Well, now that we've wasted like 2 minutes telling each other how busy we are, what the fuck do you want? I need you to check something in the Imperial database for me, cast records, and I want you to do it without asking me why I need it. Deal? Wait, what the fuck, KK? Absolutely no deal. You didn't even try to make a deal. You just told me to do something incredibly illegal and dangerous. Why you need cast record? You think ancestors are bullshit? Wait, no. Why do you need cast record? Do you think ancestors are bullshit? Ancestors are bullshit. Fake night dream nonsense for kids who hate themselves and want to experience a connection to something better than they are. Face the facts, bulgeweeds. There is no way any of us are descended from anybody that matters. Then why the hell do you want me to risk getting cold for records if it's a bunch of bullshit that doesn't matter? I might have death wish, but I might have a death wish, but I'm not suicidal. So either tell me what crawled up your nook and laid eggs in there, or let me get back to work. Okay, fine. I'm telling you because we're friends and I trust you. There's this person in my hive. Person? Yeah, they aren't a troll, but they aren't a drone either. I figured they're an alien, but they've got a cerulean sign. We're trying to figure out where it came from. Wait, they aren't a troll, but they're cerulean? Sorry, okay, I'm trying to wrap my pan around this, but I'm pretty sure you're fucking with me. Oh my god, can you just run this? Give me a second. Okay, nobody had this sign or cast sign in a while. Ask your new alien friend if they know the name Adalov? Hey, do you know? Oh, what the fuck? You step back from where you've been reading over Karkat's shoulder. You couldn't resist. He was just getting so heated and mad, banging on the keyboard and making weird little growly noises. You think you could just... Karkat goes absolutely silent. He's rigid. If he'd been a cat, his hair would be standing straight up. You ask him what's wrong, and he shushes you so loudly, you almost fall over from shock. You strain, and in the distance, you think you hear a strange, staticky whirring. Suddenly, Karkat explodes into motion, grabbing your arm and pulling you out of his respite block and down the stairs. In the living room, he tugs a thick black blanket from off the back of the couch and pulls up the rug in the center of the room. Beneath it is a trap door. What the hell is... Be quiet. His movements are quick and panicky, but also methodical. His jaw is set and his eyes are hard as he unbolts the trapdoor, gives it a hard yank to loosen it, and props it open. Beneath it is a rectangular pit in the foundations of the house. The size and shape of a shallow grave. This isn't the first time he's done this. You doubt it's even the 10th. So far, Karkat has struck you as a little bit ridiculous, but now there's something fierce burning in him, something angry and distilled. The sound comes again, closer this time, and you see a hulking shadow out of the window, huge and menacing and armored. Karkat yanks you down to the pit with him and wraps the two of you in the blanket. Then he closes the trapdoor and you are plunged into a darkness so absolute, it's like you've stopped existing. What the hell is going on? A drone? Karkat's face is squished against your shoulder. The fear in his voice shudders you to your bones. It's just a routine check. You should be fine down here. My Lucis dug this. It hides temperature. The temperature of me. Of us. Of our mutation. You don't understand. That doesn't stop you from being afraid. And possibly heavy footsteps laying on the floor above you. Karkat trembles. God, you have to do something. Wait it out. We'll be fine. Karkat mutters it to himself again and again. We'll be fine. This always works. There's no reason to... No, because we're warm. We're warmer than him. A rusty grating screech as the trapdoor is wrenched off its hinges. Light pours in. Two giant metal hands reach into the hole and pluck the both of you out. Karkat wriggles and bites like a cat trying to get free. You don't have the chance. The drone tosses you bodily out of the way. Your head hits the wall. Everything goes a little strange and streaky after that. When you come back to yourself, you're outside in the blazing morning heat with Karkat crouched over you. Did the two of you escape? Yeah. His voice is hollow. There's crimson blood smeared on his sweater and up on to his chin, and you realize it must have come from the reopened cuts on your arm. Karkat must have carried you out of the hive. The hive. Behind you, Karkat's house is in flames. The heat of the sun combines with the heat of the sun till it feels like the two of you are standing on the edge of hell. Oh god, did the drone do that? No. My Lucis did. I told you. I have early warning systems. He gave me a chance to get out before triggering it. Is he okay? Karkat gives you a look of utter disgust. He gestures towards the burning hive. I very much fucking doubt it. Okay, but the drone is dead, right? So he's safe? Karkat releases a creaky wheezing around sound that takes you a second to realize is a laugh. God, you really are an alien. Where are you even from? It sounds so relaxing. This isn't the only drone, you freak of nature. It's seen my sign. It's heard my voice. I'm on record as colon sight. There's absolutely nowhere for me to go. Shit, okay. Well, what about his friends? You really don't think Karkat has a sort of state to make... is in any sort of state to make decisions, so you make an executive one for both of you. Also, it's hot as shit out here, and your delicate skin is already starting to burn. Oh, what had that friend's name been? Sullix? You take Karkat's hand, because the two of you are beyond holding each other's under the armpits at this point. Oh shit. We're back. You appear in a residential street in the city, and for a second you think you must have traveled in time as well, since it's night again. Then you look up and see the strange purple-blue glimmer in the sky. It's still day, but there's some sort of atmospheric shield between the killer sun and the city. You wonder why there isn't one where Karkat lives. Maybe it's too far out in the sticks? Karkat yanks his hand out of yours. He's still holding the blanket. He's wrapped the two of you in, staring around in nervous little ticks. He looks even more scared than he had back in the bedroom. Clearly, he doesn't get out much. Fuck. A low chime rings out through the empty streets. Karkat pulls his palm husk out of his pocket and looks at it like he can't remember where it is. Like everything normal has been wiped away and all that remains is a frozen horror in his eyes. Keke, what the fuck? I just saw your name come up on the feed. What do you do, you fucking idiot? You're going to be in the Thresh Cuddliner. You can't just start stalling up on call lists. I didn't do anything. So excited. There's some stuff about me you don't know. KK, what the hell? Okay, well, first of all, I'm right outside your hive stream. What are you talking about? Is this the Mune stuff who gave a shit about that? Tizzy knows too. She says she can taste our blood color through the screen, which is all kinds of freaky. How does that even work? The screens aren't scratch and sniff. How the fuck? Doesn't matter now. Wow, okay. I actually do not give a crap about any of Terezi's crackling bullshit right now. Everything is fucked forever. As if in agreement, a familiar crackling whirl starts up somewhere close by. You and Karkat look at each other in almost comedic distress. I have to go. Just come up here, okay? We'll figure this shit out. No, absolutely fucking not. Oh my god, you utter imbecile. You think your little pan sparks could do something against a culling drone? I know you have a death wish, but I'm not going to assist you in a hysterical shit-fit suicide. You know anything about me and my death wish, KK. Come upstairs. No! Don't make me tell you how much I hate you. Karkat throws his palm husk at the pavement, shattering the screen. Tears drip off his jaw in blurry streaks of red. Get me out of here. And don't you dare ask what's wrong. Best friend. You don't, you get him out of there. To all over. Locale to locale. Hello, Pivot. Welcome. You take a grand tour of Eternia, a place you shouldn't know the name of, but you do. We are really visiting all the places we've been. This is the place where we talked to the one girl who wanted to be a legislator or whatever. Oh no, I'm leaving. But Pivot, you've been here the whole time. You're looking at him. You hear the telltale grating word. Karkat was right. Wherever he goes, the drones follow. After a certain point, it just becomes routine. You teleport to a random location, then the two of you just sort of loaf around until you hear the sound in the distance. By the time the sun starts to set, you were both exhausted and must have zapped all over the planet. Find yourself back in the grassy fields, most likely somewhere near Karkat's demolished hive. Smoke hangs fetid in the evening air. Karkat's eyes are dull. His hair is a tangled mass of curls so thick they look like twisted wire. I forgot why the fuck things didn't work. What thing? He shakes the blanket, which he's been holding on to all day. The last remnant of what is most likely by now just a smoking wreck. With 2 mutants in there, we were too warm. Years of perfecting my hiding like an oink beast from the slaughterer technique, and it's all decimated by some clueless asshole in a hoodie. Just Karkat out here having a normal one, getting fucked up the waist chute by the inexorable march of fate in the universe. I meet someone with the same disgusting deformity as me, and they immediately ruin my life. This is why I don't let people into my hive. Karkat. There's so much hatred wrapped up in his voice and his words. You don't think it's hatred for you. You ask him what you can do. You want to fix this. I think you've done enough. Karkat bundles himself up in the blanket, even though it isn't cold. He turns away. Interesting end screen. So, you're a pretty tolerant kind of dude. You're generally down for whatever, but lying in a shallow grave while a troll boy digs his nubby little horns into your ribs and a mechanical monster stomps around upstairs, that's kind of a lot even for you. So you do really the only thing a responsible friend can. You get your friend the fuck out of Dodge. It was really cool of Jade to have us all over. Why are you two hanging out together? I thought you'd be back at your homes. It felt like a birthday present, kind of, especially since all of my other presents get lost in the mail. Especially the only one that didn't get lost was the little monsters poster my dad got me. He gave it to me a week early, almost like he knew that something weird was going to happen to the rest of my gifts. Yeah, sure, yeah, I'm happy for you, dude. Interesting. I don't remember if that happened in Homestuck proper or not, where he got that gift early. That would mean from our time shenanigans. Why does this need to be still here? Cool that your dad got your... It was the first gift John opened. But did he get it a week early, or in the original, or was it actually the first thing he opened up? That's what I'm trying to remember, is if he did get that poster a week early in the original. I don't think so. It's actually the first thing he opened up. All the other gifts arrived in the mail. Okay. Cool, your dad got your unbelievably crappy shit to you before it got literally thrown in literal garbage where frankly it belongs. But why are you wasting any part of our valuable word count babbling about your little monsters poster? Who actually cares? I don't know, I just figured some people might want to know about it. Whack. Oh hey. Dave and John are propped up on the futon, gaming the way only bros can, i.e. with several bags of chips and a mostly empty 2-liter bottle of Mountain Dew on the couch between them. Yeah, dog, saving room for Jesus and snacks. Oh, hey, Mr. Mailman. Oh, you wave hello and try to catch your breath. You're a little unbalanced from the brutal shift between being buried alive to a chill Texas... Oh, he's in Texas. With a couple of guys being dudes. Wait, how did they even get back from Jade's? Oh yeah, it turns out her dog can teleport. Pivot! I thought you said you were gonna leave! Get the fuck out! People's like, why is he yelling at me? What'd I do? Oh yeah, right. Turns out her dog can teleport. Wild, right? Who knew? Get that rat out of my state. Got pissed. Actually, Maxwell, are you able to type pissed? Get that. Why are you calling Dave a rat? Dave is no rats. Let's see, Maxwell, Demon Zuri's able to do it. I didn't think Beck can time travel, though. So don't worry, you aren't going to be out of a job or anything. Get all of them out. Okay, Pivot. And I'm probably going to ask you to zap me back to my place before my dad realizes I've been gone this long. I don't think he'd call the cops on you, but I just want to be on the safe side. By the way, who the fuck is that? And is he like, okay? Oh yeah, Karkat. He's currently curled up on the ground with the blanket still wrapped around him. He's breathing very heavily and sort of clutching at the carpet. Kneeling down to make sure he's cool while telling Dave and John that he's an alien from another planet. You figured you'd bring him here since shit got a little too hot back in an alien land. Oh. Dope, I guess. Hey, dude. Wait. He's an alien? Like, a real alien? Yeah, John, Jesus Christ. Look, he's got little horns. Yeah, I can see that, but come on, aliens? Oh, so this is where you draw the line. Our friend, living alone on an island with nothing but her magical dog and taxidermy grandpa, who she stuffed herself, isn't where you draw the line. A teleporting fake mailman in a hoodie who just wants to be bros isn't where you draw the line. I guess you have a point. All that stuff just feels so normal now. So I guess in theory, you could bring us to visit this alien planet. Maybe. Not that that's anything I'd actually want to do. The place is probably stink as fuck. You never catch me in space. Oh, Dave. Do I have horrible news for you? Space ain't the place. Oh, damn, write that down. You love a good Strider freestyle any day of the week, but this isn't Dave's route, so you turn your focus back to... Oh, fuck, where did he go? Oh, yeah, little dude just scurried out the door. Probably should have mentioned that. Fucking... God damn it. You just brought Karkat to Earth and you've already lost him. Some friend you are. You zap down to the ground floor of the apartment building. Nothing. You zap to the stairwell and look up. Nothing. No little alien boy with a blanket. Shit. Damn it. Remember the time you met Dave? You zap up to the roof. You find Karkat standing silhouetted against the turgid Texan sky. Shimmers of heat haze making him look strangely artificial. He's shading his eyes and staring up at the sun. Hey dude, don't do that. You're gonna hurt yourself. Oh wow, thank you so much for the advice. I'm way too stupid to know how to not look directly into the burning ball of fire. The pain is intense and staring, but I'm just a dumb fucking animal. By the way, the sun is pathetic. A trillion curses upon these writings. Well, this is another planet and another sun. Yes! Thank you! He drops his hand and turns back to you. There are still cobwebs in his hairs from the crawl space. Is this where you're from? You think so? Maybe? You don't remember very much about yourself, but you seem to know more about Earth than you do... You seem to know more about Earth than you do about Eternia. Bullshit. You don't remember very much about that place at all. Oh, except that it's called Eternia, apparently. This all feels... I don't know. Wrong? Or just really fucking weird. You zapped in and dragged me out of my hive to an alien planet where the sun isn't hot enough to burn. Well, it's definitely hot enough to burn, it just takes a little longer. Shut up, I wasn't finished. Before you showed up, Solix was telling me about this game that one of his friends found. We were all supposed to play together, and I don't know. Some stuff would have happened? I don't know why it feels like that matters. It just feels so... It's so hard to describe. Flattened outs. Yeah, I feel you. You and Karkat both jump. Dave has ninja'd up the stairs and leaned casually against the brick wall. Shit, how long has he been standing there? And where's John? Oh, he just disappeared. Wait, what? Yeah, it's weird. The swirling void wormhole just opened up in the TV and sucked him right in. What? Well, I'm fucking with you. John's in the bathroom. Oh my gosh. But I had you for a second, didn't I? Yeah. Absolutely sounds like something that could happen these past couple of days. Oh yeah, hilarious. He sure got you. Also, you're pretty sure the scene moved up here so you could talk to Karkat about Dave coming in and making all of this about him again? Dave adjusts his shades. Man, that is just an extremely weird thing to say. But yeah, horny dude. I mean, fuck. Guy with horns. Are you talking to me? We were all supposed to play a game too? Together as a group or some shit? Right. Jay told you about a game that was supposed to change everything. It's that sort of shit that makes me get this feeling, you know, more about what's going on than you're telling us. You don't. You swear you don't. You have no idea why any of this is happening, or maybe not happening. There's just some stuff you seem to know, but not until you absolutely have to. You're just sure that it's very important that you brought Karkat here. Why? How the fuck do I have anything to do with these hornless freaks? Standing right here, bro. My god. But yeah, that's a pretty good point now that I think about it. You said it's important you bring him here, like here specifically, to my apartment. Yeah. Why? You aren't sure. You just have this intense feelings that it's imperative the two of them are friends. Alright. Weird, but alright. Great, dude. You ever play any Tony Hawk? I have plenty of friends. You are learning more about yourself every day. For example, while you already know that friendship is everything, you are now realizing that staying with your friends is not a priority. Roommates mayhaps. Roommates, correct. At least that must be right because you keep leaving friends and starting over. Why are you doing this? Probably a deeply held value of some kind. That makes sense. Didn't even realize we get 2 volumes in one stream today. Pivot says no. Yep. Why are you doing this? Probably a deeply held value of some kind. That makes sense. Anyway, you're ready to meet more friends, and the only place you've seen new people recently has been on Jade's Dream Planet. You zap on over there. This time, something is different. It seems to be a different part of the day than before, and the overhead clouds that previously served as fluffy ambient backdrop are now alive with images. Meteors strike in a dark world, a planet covered in sugary mountains dotted with goopy giant teapots. A young gray-skinned alien girl running around catching frogs. These must be the clouds Jade was referencing, the ones she said could never be wrong. Well, you can take guidance from them too. You dress in more dubious things than clouds. You zone in on that girl, frog girl with the short haircut and the red skirt. Time for the zappy thing. It's always night on Troll Planet, at least when folks are out and about, but it's usually not this dark. You confidently head out to start exploring your surroundings and immediately run into a wall face first. Okay, you're getting your bearings now. You've ended up in some kind of closet. You refrain from making a hackneyed joke about it. They probably don't even know that cultural metaphor here. And the noise you made elicited an answering yelp of surprise in the room outside. You hear footsteps approach you and then someone yanks the door open. Hello. What the fuck? Opening the door has allowed a beam of bright sunlight to fall across your face. You feel instinctively that the light is something to avoid. You hold your hands up to shield your face, and remember that your hands are also made of skin and whimper. The heat's doing its best to fry you. Like a vampire in a movie, you're sure that idle thought will not end up having any relevance to this troll girl's story whatsoever. What are you? Did you just wander in here, or like... what? Something like that, you tell her. Cringing away from the light, you get the feeling this girl is not gonna fall for the old human mailman gambit. Mail troll? You tell her you know one of her other friends. Who? Wait. Is it Karkat? Yes! I knew it. He makes friends with all kinds. Well, I obviously can't kick you out right now. You don't seem to be able to handle the sun. So I guess you better stick around until at least nighttime. You could easily zap to nighttime, but this is giving you an in, so instead you agree. No problem. You can just hang out in this closet. It's fine. It's a lovely closet. I know we just met, but you're being kind of weird. You hope it's the kind of weird that eventually becomes charming. You don't say that, though. Just think it. You know, the barrier between your words and thoughts is ambiguous at best, but for real. Anyway, you have no obligation to skulk around in my ward of fire, assets chamber. I have a solution. Among the shades, maybe? No. Why would I deprive my plants of life-giving sunlight for a fragile-skinned creature I've never met before? Thank you, Kanaya. You're always very pragmatic. It is another solution. A minute later, you're dressed in a floor-length gown of emerald velvet with long sleeves, a high neckline, and a dramatic hood to pull over your head. The dress does nothing for the heat, but it effectively shields you from the sunlight. There you go. All swallowed up like a baby, you joke. The troll just gives you a level look. Clearly you stumbled on a cultural misalignment. Even though she's the one who hasn't even heard of a baby, she stares at you until you start to feel embarrassed for knowing things that she doesn't know. She's very good at staring contests. What an amazing potential friend. Now out of the closet, you know now that joke won't land either. You look around the room, it's indeed covered with plants, as well as colorful bolts of fabric and half-finished sewing projects. Unlike Rose's knitting disarray, it does not give the impression of someone who has difficulty finishing things. The troll's room gives the impression of someone who enjoys, even excels at having multiple irons in hot places. Yep. Lots of irons in the fires. Or what was the saying? I forget. Or at least she thinks she does. She seems to have just been on her computer thing when you zapped in, because her chat client is flashing incessantly. You try to peer out the open window, but she hits a button and makes the projection disappear. Delicate green flush rising to her cheeks. No need to look at that. Guiltily, you remember spying on Rose. When she called you out, you thought for a second that your chances of being her friend had run out. Like, if there was a universe where you become her friend, and one where you didn't, you stumbled upon clumsily into the wrong one, the bad one if you will. But luckily everything turned out fine. Maybe get away with it again? Plus, this troll doesn't even know about your powers yet. Now like Rose did, she would have no reason to suspect you. No, even if you don't get caught, it's just not a good way to begin a friendship. Much fairer to start on even footing. Besides, you already have an in. You ask a troll how she knows Karkat. She looks bored by this conversation starter. Sorry, but I was actually kind of busy when you came in. I am not going to co-sign you to fiery death outside in the light, but I'd appreciate some personal time. Sure, you say, of course. The troll gives you a suspicious look until you turn away enough that she can be assured of privacy. She goes right back to chatting with her friends. After a while, she gets up and starts working on the dress she's sewing. She keeps getting frustrated, ripping it out and redoing it until to get it perfect. She's not being rude to you, but she's ignoring you. You attempt to engage a few more times, but she keeps answering politely. But she just refuses to be pulled into shenanigans from which a lasting friendship could form. After several hours, the sun slips below the horizon and leaves the world in twilight. The troll girl yawns. Well, it should be safe for you to leave now. Goodbye. She nicely but firmly directs you out the door. Shoo. Polite goodbye. What a face. You excuse yourself to the, you know what they call it here, the necessaries. You wave your hand in a vaguely embarrassed way and the troll gets it. Out of her sight, you zap back to a few minutes ago, just outside the door to the room you're now in. You wait until you hear the thump of yourself arriving in the closet and the troll abandoning her desk. Then you quickly zap into the room and read her current chat. I just cannot escape my notice that the last 3 times you contacted me, it was to ask if I finished your dress yet. Under these circumstances, I find it trying to believe that you want it for no particular reason. I wish you would just tell me why it's so important. Of course you do! Fussy fangs always have to have a reason for everything. Maybe I just want a present for my Moirile? Did you think of that? Or are you too busy fussing around in your fuss block? Maybe I'm being nice? Or did you not think I can be nice sometimes? I know you can be. When you want, sort of. Are we Moiriles again now then? Yesterday you said defining our relationship was something only lame dorks would do. Yeah, and my Moirile's a super lame dork. That's you, Fangface. It's just that I can't help but notice that I'm your Moirile again right now. When you want something from me. You notice a lot of, don't you? Always noticing something. I bet you wouldn't be shocked to know how much you don't see. You don't even know half of what I have going on. If I have ever pretended to know what is going on with you, please allow me to apologize for such a gross misrepresentation of my reality. Whatever. Can you just tell me? Can you just tell me if you finished it yet? Hello, Kanaya? The log ends there. You zap back before past you is done changing the dress and re-enter the room. The troll Kanaya is back at her lunchbox computer, typing furiously. You have to handle this situation delicately. She can't know you're spying on her. Since you've already said that you know Karkat, you had your bets on all of them sharing the same friend group. You ask her carefully if she happens to know your other friend as well, Arachnid Grips. The little green flush darkens Kanaya's cheeks again. She bites her lip, showing one kind of adorable fang. Give me 1 second. I keep forgetting to do this every stream. You have to handle this situation delicately. She can't know you're spying on her. Since you've already said that you know Karkat, you hedge your bets. Yep. Yes, I know her. Why? You are sure that helping Kanaya figure out her situation with this girl is the key to earning her friendship. A big, juicy interpersonal conflict to solve has been dangling in front of you, and nothing makes friends more reliably. But then again, you don't really know anything about this other troll. You don't even know her name, just her handle. Can you really be of any use to Kanaya? Oh, sorry, excuse me. Is this the right way to go? Back off. No reason, you say, just curious. Kanaya gives you a suspicious look. Okay. Well, I'm kind of in the middle of something. You can just while away the time until it gets dark. Sure. You watch her for a few minutes as she finishes up her conversation, and then starts working on things around her room. But having seen what you've seen, you are determined to find some way to help her. If you can't fix her interpersonal problems, maybe you can figure out something else you'd enjoy. Filled with investigative spirit, you start to gather evidence. You start to snoop. Spying got you this far. Spying is great! You rifle through Kanaya's bookshelf. She has a number of sewing pattern books, which you assume must have some kind of whimsical, gruesome twist congruent with the rest of the world building on this planet, but pretty much just look like sewing pattern books. There is one thing on the shelf in your own language. It's not a book, but a stack of printed out pages bound together in a distinctly homemade way. It says Spur Beta Walkthrough at the top and is covered with familiar erudite prose. You're pretty sure the events described in this document have never happened in the timeline you're currently making, but maybe whatever source Kanaya got this from is not bound strictly to one timeline. There are a number of books featuring shining white figures, mostly women, with prominent flags and various colored blood dripping from their cruel and elegant mouths. They're all dressed in an explosion of brightly colored fabrics. Something about their sparkle strikes you as deeply strangely familiar. You must just be thinking of vampires. There's no reason you'd know anything about whatever the rainbow blood imbibing troll equivalent is. No. Especially not because you met a very shady lawyer. Most of these covers feature a swooning troll of varying genders clearly about to have their throat torn out sexually. Many of the rainbow vampires are being menaced by brave heroes, all wielding chainsaws. A loud buzz makes you look up. You can't help but notice that Kanaya is tending to her trumpet carries with a large chainsaw of her own. Okay, putting it all together. The bright colors around her house, the choice of weapon, the love of sunlight. Kanaya's heart desire is clearly to date a sexy vampire. Maybe that's what AG is? You wonder if you could make this happen for maybe on this planet. It's not just a fantasy? You clear your throat to get Kanaya's attention, and then casually wonder aloud if Alternia has any kind of non-living creatures. Oh? You mean the undead? Yes, the undead! Where might one find the undead? It is not difficult. They tromp past my hive in their hordes every day. Slavering and so on, trying to get in sometimes. It's all coming together. That must be the root of Kanaya's fascination. You start to form a plan. For the next few hours, you keep a keen eye trained on the window. Sure enough, for an hour, a group of strange, shambling creatures lurches into view. You yell and point out the window, drawing Kanaya's attention, and then zap yourself out there in front of the horde. Now that you're close up, you can see that these guys are not exactly the debonair creatures of the night from Kanaya's book covers. They're more like zombies. Big, slow, stumbling things, half of them falling apart. Still, needs must, you're going to net one of them for Kanaya. You stand your ground as they lurch towards you, trying to select the most alluring. Suddenly, Kanaya's at your side, out of breath from running. She's wielding her chainsaw. Are you actually bereft of sense? Don't fight the undead. This is suicidal. You weren't trying to fight them, but there's no time to explain that because they attack you anyway. A great monstrous arm backhands you to the ground, and monstrous claws tear through your gown and onto your shoulders, lifting you by it. The creatures open a mouth full of more teeth than you thought could fit inside there. Then you're falling. You hit the ground and roll, dirt running into the wounds of your arm. The top half of the creatures lie next to you, twitching slightly. Kanaya's chainsaw gleams with its black blood. She twirls and bisects another undead thing, then a third bear hugs her from behind and lifts her, its maw opening wide. You scramble to your feet and throw yourself at Kanaya, grabbing her foot, kicking the leg, and squeezing your eyes shut to concentrate. You zap. Please don't let the monster come with you. You open your eyes. The monster did not come with you. Only its arms did. Kanaya shakes herself a little, free from their disembodied embrace. Blood pools in her carpet. She does something to get rid of her chainsaw, and suddenly she's holding a tube of lipstick, which she opens. She slicks a fresh coat of black onto her lips. You slowly catch your breath. You're about to offer an apology, but something makes you pause. Kanaya staring at the pools of blood. She cautiously, guiltily, leans down and swipes a finger in the mess. She then brings it to her mouth and delicately licks. Oh my god. That's so cute. That's so good. She makes a face and spits the blood out. She then looks up at you, flushing emerald with embarrassment. It is peak. Oh, you think you made a mistake. Kanaya doesn't want to date a vampire. She wants to be a vampire. And you did not see that. You smile cautiously. It's okay, tell her. You're embarrassed yourself by your foolish actions. Yes. Why did you do that? Also, how did you teleport? We will be coming back to that one. Do not mistake me. I love the way you converse, Kanaya. But I can't understand why anyone would run straight into a horde of undead. I look down, well, it's just that when she said undead, you were picturing something else, another kind of creature that was dead and now isn't and is a little more appealing. Understanding dawns. Oh, I see. Well, that's understandable. Vampires are just so cool. They're so cool and hot, and it would make sense for anyone to want to be one. I don't know what a vampire is, but I believe that we are on the same page. Maybe I misjudged you. Perhaps you have greater intelligence and finer taste than I originally inferred. Maybe, you say. And you bet anyone with taste would find Kanaya's daring, unconventional aesthetic intriguing. Even someone like the tentacle therapist. Kanaya freezes. What? How did you know? Did you just... I mean... Now... So this is the... So this is before the whole timeline trolling thing, I believe. It never happened. You mean where instead of talking... Alright, I'm waiting for the timeline. Yeah, no, why would I bring up the epilogues? No, I'm talking about Kanaya's conversation with Rose, but I was going to specifically mention the part where Kanaya wanted to speak with Rose. She sent a message, but John answered, and he thought he was being a funny fucker. And so Kanaya was like, huh, the tentacle therapist. She's actually stupid. Oh, you wrote this good guy? I bet this isn't even yours, because you're just a blithering idiot. And then, like, when she comes in hot and bothered, like, not unlike the, oh my gosh, it's like, no, I actually want to kill you. I actually want you dead. Rose starts snapping back, and Kanaya goes, oh shit. Oh shit, are you actually an intellectual equal? On Earth, MC meets John, so it's past Eternia, but when MC meets Karkat before they decided to play Scrub, so Earth doesn't exist yet, but they were still able to not contact the humans. Yes, because I do remember that they were being trolled before that. So... Wait, on Earth, MC meets John, so it's in the past for Eternia. Yes, okay. They contacted the humans before they played the games around John's past birthday. They just had a long pause at some point. Okay. And then they went silent for some reason. Because Jade mentions that the trolls stopped harassing them essentially at that point, or when everything went cocoa bananas. So then, are there two sets of trolls now, essentially, where one of them was the one going through the proper timeline so they can converse, but now we're dealing with these ones now. These are the ones that haven't contacted John and his friends. These are the ones before they started playing. So obviously they haven't started talking to them, but a set of them have though. But because there are time shenanigans, they're no longer here. Or contacting them. Also, I do like this song. I'm trying to remember what game I played. No. So, do you remember the game I played called A Date with Death? I don't know how... I feel like I've heard, like, tracks from that song in various videos I've watched recently. And then even before that, I would occasionally hear a song from that. And I don't know if, like, they kind of did the same thing with Wani, I Wanna Hug You Gator. Where they had original songs, but then there were some that were just, what's the word? Because they're royalty free. Anyone can use them, you just have to give credit. Because one of the songs I really liked in I Wanna Hug a Gator, it was like the scene where they're playing on the fight stick, or at the arcade, and Hot Wheels is really laying into the guy, and you start cheering on for her. Let's see, I'm gonna try to sign. Also, I'm gonna be honest, guys. I still love that gator. I still not gotten over the gator. And it's also really funny because in Arknight's Enfield, they have another gator. And just as bad of a bitch as well. The thing about Homestuck Timeline is that it's hard to explain for Pesterquest because for the trolls, Earth does not exist yet, but they have talked to the humans. For the humans, Alternia is still around because the trolls didn't end up playing Scrub, which is confusing since Scrub made Earth, but the timeline is already in Noodles. No need to worry about it. Yeah. Because that's the thing. With MC's powers, all these kind of just go away. Or they get fleshed out in a way. Riku's a Scaly confirms? I want that gator so fucking bad, bro. I don't care. I want the gator. I want Olivia. I want fluoride. I don't care. Okay, call me what you want. I love women and I'm not ashamed of it. So call me whatever you want, but I am not gay. I love women and I will fight to the death for that. I will fight to the death for my right to have a gator GF. Hi there, Pokemon Anniversary on IGN Network is coming up tomorrow morning. Oh! And my previous show called Elimination Chamber of Chicago on PvP. Wait, who called you gay? No one, but Pivot keeps going. What was it? It was, trying to remember. Oh yeah, because I keep saying to Pivot, I'm the straightest man he knows. And he goes, I don't know, man. I know some pretty gay guys, and it's just like, that's on them. I love your mom, Pivot. So you can't keep calling me gay if I made love to your mom. Also, Hassan, in my previous show called Elimination Chamber Chicago on ESPN, pay-per-view? Are you hosting the Pokemon Anniversary on the IGN one? I don't even... Is tomorrow the Pokemon Anniversary? Is Pokemon it? I'm looking that up. Oh shit, it is tomorrow. Okay. I'm sorry, I like Digimon. I like Furret though. I like Furret. You know Digimon? I like Digimon. Yeah, no, I hope that goes well for you. Also, you're going to be on ESPN. Fuck. Nice. Hell yeah. Also, again, I did not realize tomorrow was Pokemon's 30th anniversary. Wait, is it actually the 30th? Where's that last? No! Tomorrow's the 30th. Oh, congrats to them. Also, yeah, I love women. I either want Olivia or Florida, or I want a bad bitch, like Ishmael from Limbus Company. I really need Ishmael. You guys don't fucking understand. I don't think you guys understand how bad it is for me right now. Like, oh my gosh, Ishmael. It's bad, guys. It's bad. Old man rants about women for 5 minutes. But yeah, I think Pivot only tries to call me gay to deflect from the fact that I keep making remarks about having the sex of his mother. My Wi-Fi decides to be fucking whenever it wants to be. That was me for like 2 months, where just streams would go from consistent quality to, oh yeah, you're going to like 300 megabytes or whatever. Bitches be like, gender is what in your pants. Okay, my pronouns be squirrels. Ah, yes, that one. If Digimon is so peak, why is there no... Why is there no Beedrill using String Shot? Great question. I like Furt. I think he's my favorite Pokemon. I wish he was better, but I'll always use them in story. If I get the chance to use Furt in story, I'm going to use Furt. It's just the way it is. I make the rules, and that's the rule. Yeah, I'm going to use Furt because Furt's so cool. I love him. He's just a guy. He's also like 5'10" or whatever, but that's like, you know, like head to tail. I also appreciate that he became just a big meme because they just like, oh yeah, we're gonna loop the walking cycle for this little guy who's not actually little, and we're just gonna play some music over it. Yeah, no, Ishmael. She has done things to me. I love her. She's such a big dork. She's so caring, but she's so embarrassed about caring. And also, she's extremely competent, and I love competent women. I need a competent woman in my life. Yeah. Which is hard when you live in a college town, because I think I've said this before. The woman I want to meet is not going to the bars. They're on their computers being little shitters, gremlins, and or getting raged. The live view can't is hilarious today. What do you mean? Yeah, I know. So I'm boned because I'm in a college town, and the live count is hilarious today. Isn't the live count like only 3 or 4 or whatever? Yeah, it jumps up from 3 to 4, and then nope, I've lost people because I've talked about women. It went to 5 as soon as I started ranting about how much I love Ishmael, and then Olivia from I Want to Hug the Gear, and then Fluoride, and then went down to 2 to 3. Are my views that polarizing? They look at this model, it's like, oh my gosh, he's a femboy. Oh my gosh, he wants. No, I want a woman. I want a relation with a woman. I want to have the relation with a woman. But everyone's like, oh my gosh, femboy. Oh my gosh, gay. No. Now we're at 3. As God intended. Because unless I stream at night, we're stuck in the single digits. And if I stream late night, we're up to like 15 to 19 people. I don't know why. 3 enlightened ones. Yep. I'm gonna say one of them is probably Pivot, but he doesn't want to say anything because he's working. Just like I'm gonna work his mom tonight. He's so, ooh, oh my god, can you believe it? Yeah. I need Ishmael so bad. I need an Ishmael so fucking bad, my guys. Or an Olivia. Or Fluoride. From Arknight's Enfield. Because, is it Fluorite or Fluoride? I think it's Fluoride. Fluorite. Arknight's Enfield. Fluorite, not fluoride. Fluoride's the thing in toothpaste. Yeah, this all started because I started talking about I Want to Hug That Gear and then called it Scaly, but yeah. I need me a bad bitch. Except not those bad bitches that people on Twitter want. I just need a competent woman. A competent woman who's a bit dorky. I don't want an e-girl. I want the woman who spends like 4 to 5 hours research something and then getting pissed when someone gets it wrong and then just calling them a shitter. Who can also be a little rage baited. Yeah. That's about it. Yep. And then whenever I go on my hypotheticals or just asking a question, she doesn't just immediately go, we can just look it up. It just actually just has a conversation with me. Because that is what me and my brother do, where it's just like, okay, So what do you think about this? Well, here's what we already know. Okay, so then with this, and then we look it up. We can look it up later, but I want to have a conversation. I don't want to default to just looking it up immediately. What else? Shares my desire. Is willing to join me on my random escapades in different video games. Yeah. Yeah. Again, I live in a college town. I'm a little boned. Because again, the woman I want to meet does not go to the bars. Yeah. Alright, I'm going back. I mean, who is that? I mean, she clears her throat uncomfortably. Whoever that is, I hope you are right. And also, well, she looks embarrassed again. Thank you for saying so. You nod, wondering if you should say more, but you should keep that friend's secrets, just like you were going to keep Kanaya's vampire fantasy secret, because that's what friends do. Bonded through, like... They both have very different ideas. It's cool, though. You dress her wildly. You and this girl, whose name you totally know, go way back. In fact, if Kanaya wants some help figuring things out with her, you could definitely help. You're an observant person. This part is true, and you want to help her. This is too. Kanaya thinks this over, looking skeptical. What can you do to help? She's just impossible. Everyone knows that already. I am not breaking new ground about Vriska here. Vriska, that must be her name. Despite Kanaya's outward frustration, you keep sensing some kind of guilty affection here. You know what a moirile is? How could you? You never heard that word before, but it conjures a feeling inside you, a vague sense of warmth and comfort. For some reason, a dark room and the smell of popcorn. Anyway, it's clearly some kind of intimate relationship, and Kanaya's feelings are all wrapped up in it. You know what to do in this kind of situation. She needs to tell Vriska. Oh my gosh, do we have to read this book? You expect Kanaya to brush this off. She hasn't exactly been Miss Emotional Openness so far, and she looks like she's about to, but then she wavers. To your surprise, she lets out a heavy sigh, her shoulders slumping. What would be the point? She's not even into the relationship we have now. There's no way she'd want to take it in a more crimson direction. Clearly, these feelings have worn her down so much. Her spiky defenses are weakened. You don't want to cheer on someone's vulnerabilities, but well, it's hard to forge a friendship without them. You ask if she's sure about that. Well, no. Can never tell if she's sincere. She makes serious things into jokes and jokes into big dramas. I thought she started calling me her Moira as a joke. She told everyone else about it too. She didn't even ask me what I wanted. Now I don't know how to talk to her about it. Every conversation we have gets so antagonistic. I'm not interested in that quadrant of her. Sometimes it feels like a relationship is just an aggregation of shallow and sincere hostilities. Despite the unfamiliar alien words, this teen romantic flailing is common among all species. You nod sympathetically, but you point out, Kanaya isn't happy now, so what would she have to lose if she pressed the issue? Kanaya gives you that even scathing gaze again. And what is your personal interest in my quadrants? Karkat's friend. Whoops, you pushed it too far. All your recent successes have made you cocky. You revert to barefaced honesty and tell her you want to get to know her better. I have plenty of friends already. I don't even like some of them. But I will think about your unsolicited and unwelcome advice. Advice from a stranger whose presence you are tolerating solely to not be responsible for the death of an innocent is well known to be the best kind of advice. That's about the best you can ask for. You shut up and sit quietly while Kanaya goes back to her activities. Sewing and tending to her plants with a big chainsaw she seems to have pulled out of nowhere. Finally, she huffs a sigh and throws the chainsaw down onto the floor. It disappears again, but a little gold tube rolls away from where it landed. Kanaya stalks back to her magic computer lunchbox. She is emanating such a determined air that you don't dare to address her. Maybe she's forgotten about you? If so, it's to your advantage. Kanaya set up projects. Because Kanaya set up projects her window in a very visible way, and she doesn't tell you to not look this time. You know how you basically refuse to be straightforward with me? You know how you and I used to use this metaphor with full consciousness of its on-the-nose nature? Always weave a web of intricate emotional misdirection and basically act in the most infuriating way possible? What? Slow down. What are you even talking about? Why did you start calling me your Moirile? Was it because you actually had those feelings for me? Or did it suit your purpose somehow? What if I started calling you my mate sprit? Would that make it reality? Is that how it works? You just say things and assume they will happen like you said instead of talking about it with the other person involved? That time I meant you in an abstract internal sense, not specifically you. Wait, are you saying you want to be mate sprits? You know I'm the one of the few of us who still likes you. And you know everyone wonders why I still talk to you at all. And sometimes I do too. After everything you've done, I think in this situation the evidence for strong concupiscent feelings on my part is compelling. I do not think our so-called mayoral agents is satisfying enough to account for my continued attachment to you. Any outside observer could perceive as much. Wow. I think there was a confession somewhere buried under all that insulting language. You know what? Meanie fangs, let's do it. Let's be mate sprits. Do not mock me. I'm not. Jeez. Do you see how unfair you're being? Vriska, be more straightforward. Vriska, talk clear about your feelings. Define a relationship. Then when I do it, this is what I get. Let's flip bread. Why not? Wait, really? Yes! Oh shit. Kanaya slams the lunchbox shut and turns to you. She's even more flustered than she was before, and you can't even tell if she's freaked out or thrilled. Maybe even she doesn't know. Listen, I have to go somewhere. You can let yourself out, right? Do not steal anything from me. You open your mouth, about to suggest that you could teleport her to where she needs to go, but she rushes past you and down the stairs. And then she's gone. Dang, you've been getting really good mileage lately out of being the person to unite distant friends. Lousy goddamn stupid independent action. You get the feeling following her wouldn't go over well either. Kanaya probably needs some privacy right now. A lesser friendship aspirant might give up at this point, but your unique skills have honed in on one thing. This relationship is happening because of your advice. Surely once things settle down, Kanaya will remember this and turn to you, ready to embrace you and rain down thanks and praise for your good work. You're not about to wait around for it here. You zap ahead a couple of days. No Kanaya. Nothing in your room indicates that Kanaya has even been back here yet. Try a couple more days. Still no Kanaya. You zap again. Now you're a week out, and the brown edges on some of the leaves suggest that Kanaya has been at her new girlfriend's house this entire time. You're about to give up when you hear a door slam downstairs. Kanaya storms up the winding staircase, stopping dead when she sees you. Oh great, just what I need. Someone I don't know here in a delicate emotional time to witness my compromised state. Wherever I am on the precipice of romantic disaster, I always think to myself, I wish a deformed stranger was in my house refusing to leave, just to bear witness to my inelegant suffering. Okay, wow, that was harsh. You're beginning to think your strategy is not going to pan out. Never one to be deterred easily. You constantly ask her if she wants to talk about it. She puts her face in her hands. You know what? You're probably the only person who thought this was remotely a good idea. And therefore probably the only one I can complain to. Everyone else saw this coming, I'm sure. As outcomes go, this one was not particularly stealthy. When she looks up, she doesn't look angry anymore, just upset. Oh no. I do not know why I thought that in becoming my mate spirit, she would somehow start acting differently than the way she always has. Relationships are hard and nobody understands. Well, no. I mean, they are a very common form of social interaction. I think most people, especially past the age when their genetic contribution is legally required, understand or face certain culling. Okay, never mind that. You were trying to do a thing and it clearly didn't work out, so things didn't work out with Vriska. You could say that. At first, it was everything I wanted. She's right, you know. She can be nice sometimes. But then she just started ordering me around. Like I had to do what she wanted because I was her mate spirit. Like maybe the reason she agreed in the first place was because she wanted that leverage. You know she's upset, but she isn't getting visibly emotional, and said, as she talks, her eyes grow narrow and her voice grows icy of anger. She grows very still, her muscles held taut. And she kept trying to use me to get back in with our friends who sensibly dropped her already, like Karkat and Terezi. Although I can't believe I still have any cash with them after so obviously taking leave of my senses enough to date her. Even Terezi wasn't stupid enough for that. It felt like she wanted me to like her so she could exploit me. Maybe because she doesn't have enough other friends, so she had to get the most out of me. Her voice is trembling with anger now. Geez, that's rough. Honestly, it sounds to you like Kanaya dodged a bullet. When you first saw that Kanaya had a crush on this girl, you kind of assumed that someone as composed and rational as Kanaya would be drawn to someone who would compliment her well. But you've just watched her walk into a train wreck. Well, encouraged too. It's probably good she broke up with Vriska. I didn't. Oh, well, but you're right. Oh no. She stalks over to her husk top and throws the top open so violently it nearly breaks. She opens the window and starts typing. Her claws hit the keys so hard that one of them pops off and flies to the ground. You know, Vriska, I didn't just want to date you. I wanted you to feel the same thing I felt and treat me like a mate spirit. And whatever this isn't what I wanted. Excuse me? What are you saying? But Kanai slams the screen down and turns away. Then she puts her hands over her face again and bursts into tears. You can't help but feel a little awkward. There? Kanaya glares at you. You know this is your fault, right? I don't think you have shown yourself to be competent enough in this area to try to fix things now. Can you please just leave me alone? Yeah, you're not going to be able to turn this around. Leaving probably is the best thing you can do for Kanaya now. You nod sadly and zap the fuck out of there. You didn't help. I call this one Riku's deepest desires. Yeah. I think I'd call that one that too. Well. Oh, Vrishka, you are a menace. Dracula, this is really cool. Befriend Gamzee, befriend Vrishka, no doubles. Weenie. So Gamzee and Vrishka. You brought Karkat to meet some new friends. Nepeta would be proud. That's good. Alright, that'll be it for this week then. Unless I do a random night stream, but I don't think so. Alright, everyone. Thank you for stopping by. I hope you guys have a good rest of your day. And I will see you guys next time. Have a good weekend and a good rest of your day and or evening. Take care. Bye bye.